Imagine standing at a bustling farmer's market, the air rich with the scent of freshly baked bread and a myriad of grains surrounding you. Yet, unbeknownst to most, not all grains offer the same path to a healthy heart. While the soft, snow-white appearance of refined grains might tempt your senses, it's the earthy tones of whole grains that conceal an essential, life-altering secret. A study shatters conventional wisdom, revealing that those golden strands of oats and resilient kernels of quinoa outperform their refined counterparts in safeguarding cardiovascular health. What if the morning bowl you choose could widen or narrow the passageways within your heart? As we unmask the shocking truth of the grains landscape, your next choice at the breakfast table could redefine your life expectancy. In the realm of nutrition, grains occupy a foundational place, yet the simplicity of their appearance belies a complex composition that significantly influences health. At the heart of this nutritional debate lies a fundamental distinction: the difference between whole grains and refined grains. This division reflects not only a difference in physical form, but also a profound divergence in nutritional value and health implications, a truth often overshadowed by convenience and tradition. Whole grains, true to their name, retain all parts of the grain kernel, specifically the bran, germ, and endosperm. This trio forms a holistic package of nutrients, offering a robust profile of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. The bran, the outer layer, is a rich source of fiber and B vitamins, presenting a crunchy barrier that shields the inner contents. Underneath lies the germ, the embryo of the plant, teeming with essential fatty acids, vitamin E, and crucial phytochemicals. Finally, the endosperm provides a starchy carbohydrate foundation, supplying proteins and small amounts of vitamins. This structural wholeness is what endows whole grains with their nutritional richness, making them invaluable allies in promoting health and preventing disease. In contrast, refined grains undergo a process of milling that strips away both the bran and the germ, leaving primarily the endosperm. This process, while it may extend the shelf life and offer a smoother texture appealing to the palate, significantly depletes the grain of its natural nutrients. Essentially, refined grains are markers of the modern diet's tendency towards convenience, offering a quick fix bereft of the essential elements needed for sustaining long-term health. What results is a product that is notably poorer in fiber, vitamins, and key minerals, rendering it less effective in fulfilling the body's holistic nutritional requirements. The implications of this divide are extensive and profoundly impact health outcomes. Epidemiological studies have consistently linked whole grain consumption to a lower risk of chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain forms of cancer. This is largely attributable to the dense nutrient composition of whole grains that aids in reducing inflammation, lowering cholesterol levels, and improving blood sugar control. Conversely, diets high in refined grains often correlate with increased risk factors such as elevated body weight and metabolic syndrome, which are precursors to more severe health issues. Understanding the genesis of this dichotomy requires a look back at agricultural advances and traditional practices. Historically, grains were consumed in their whole form until advancements in technology allowed for more refined processing techniques in the 19th century. The milling of grains to remove fiber and germ produced longer-lasting flour, became a staple of industrial food production, and eventually shaped dietary habits around the globe. Today, the ease and appeal of refined grains heavily influence food markets, from everyday bread to snack foods. As we navigate modern dietary landscapes, recognizing the profound impact of grain type on health is critical. Educating consumers on the benefits of whole grains compared to refined alternatives is an essential step toward promoting healthier food choices. Encouragingly, there is a growing awareness and appreciation for whole grains, evidenced by an increasing presence in kitchen pantries and restaurant menus. Nevertheless, a larger cultural shift is necessary to truly alter the predominant consumption patterns fueled by refined grains. In advocating for a diet rich in whole grains, we are essentially championing a return to roots, embracing the full spectrum of nutrition that nature intended. As we delve deeper into the nutritional hierarchy within grains, the next critical layer of understanding reveals the presence of essential nutrients, such as dietary fiber, which play a central role in promoting both satiety and heart health. This nuanced interplay between nutrients further cements the preferential choice of whole grains in nourishing the body and mind. As the conversation around nutrition evolves, the value of whole grains continues to garner attention, largely due to their comprehensive nutrient profile. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and brown rice aren't merely alternatives to more widely consumed refined grains. They are nutritional powerhouses packed with essential nutrients that have significant health benefits. Unlike refined grains, which lose a substantial share of their vital components during processing, whole grains maintain their natural integrity, offering a rich blend of dietary fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Dietary fiber stands out as one of the most significant components of whole grains. It plays a critical role in various bodily functions, ranging from digestion to heart health. But perhaps its most appreciated benefit is the promotion of satiety. This sense of fullness is not just a comfort, it is an essential mechanism by which individuals can better manage their weight. Research consistently finds that diets high in fiber are associated with a reduced risk of obesity. When whole grains are consumed, they swell and form a gel-like substance in the stomach, slowing digestion. This process helps to stabilize blood sugar levels and prevents rapid spikes often associated with refined grains. In addition to fiber, whole grains are a rich source of essential vitamins, such as B vitamins including niacin, thiamine, and folate. These nutrients are pivotal in cellular metabolism, aiding the body in converting food into energy and supporting numerous enzymatic reactions critical for maintaining health. Furthermore, they contribute to the reduction of inflammation and improvement of muscle function, further underscoring the holistic benefits of consuming whole grains. The mineral content in whole grains, such as iron, magnesium, and selenium, enhances their nutritional profile. Iron is vital for oxygen transport in the blood, magnesium contributes to nerve transmission and bone health, and selenium supports antioxidant functions that can prevent cellular damage. Each grain type offers unique benefits. Oats, for example, are renowned for their beta-glucan fiber, known to lower cholesterol levels. Quinoa is a complete protein source containing all 9 essential amino acids, which is particularly valuable for vegetarian and vegan diets. Brown rice contributes manganese, which assists in energy production and antioxidant defenses. Despite these remarkable benefits, many consumers remain unaware of the extent to which whole grains contribute to health. This gap in knowledge is often perpetuated by food marketing that highlights convenience over nutritional value. While refined grains remain a staple in many diets, their dominance is increasingly challenged by a growing public awareness of health implications. Initiatives aimed at informing the public through school programs, health campaigns, or clearer food labeling can help shift dietary preferences toward nutrient-rich whole grains. Understanding the comprehensive benefits of whole grains nurtures a critical perspective on diet that encourages informed choices. The shift towards whole grain consumption offers a promise of better health outcomes, advocating for a nutritional consciousness that harbors the potential to reduce disease prevalence. As we delve deeper into the specific attributes of whole grains, it's clear that their complex carbohydrate content, particularly their fiber, is intrinsically linked to reducing heart-related ailments, an exploration that merits further discussion. In the landscape of dietary choices where nutrient-rich foods vie for attention, the fiber in whole grains stands as a silent but powerful ally in both weight management and heart health. Found abundantly in foods like oats, quinoa, and brown rice, dietary fiber offers more than just a means to aid digestion. It acts as a vital component in promoting a sense of fullness, which can be a game changer for those aiming to maintain a healthy weight and prevent heart-related ailments. The mechanism through which dietary fiber promotes satiety is multifaceted, extending beyond the simple act of eating. When consumed, the fiber in whole grains absorbs water and swells in the stomach, forming a viscous gel that slows digestion and prolongs the absorption of nutrients. This delayed process not only curtails the tendency to overeat, but also fosters steady blood sugar levels, reducing the likelihood of insulin spikes that often follow meals high in refined grains. The result is a prolonged sensation of fullness that diminishes the desire for additional, often unnecessary calorie intake. This sense of satiety plays a crucial role in weight management, a significant predictor of one's risk for multiple chronic diseases, including cardiovascular conditions. Studies have consistently shown that individuals who incorporate adequate amounts of fiber into their diets tend to have a healthier body mass index, BMI, and reduced abdominal fat. This reduction is particularly important as excess weight, especially visceral fat around the abdomen, is a known risk factor for heart disease. By aiding in weight control, dietary fiber indirectly yet powerfully contributes to heart health. In parallel, the heart protective qualities of fiber are undeniable. Beyond maintaining a healthy weight, the fiber in whole grains has been linked to reduced levels of LDL cholesterol, often dubbed the bad cholesterol. The gel-forming nature of soluble fiber, present in abundance in certain whole grains, binds with cholesterol particles and helps escort them out of the body before they have a chance to enter the bloodstream. This bioaction effectively lowers cholesterol levels, subsequently decreasing the risk of developing heart disease. Furthermore, the consistent intake of fiber has shown to be associated with lower blood pressure and inflammation, both critical factors in maintaining cardiovascular health. Evidence from longitudinal studies underscores that those with diets rich in fiber, particularly from whole grains, exhibit a robust defense against the onset of hypertension and chronic inflammation, both of which are precursors to more severe cardiovascular events. However, the benefits of fiber extend beyond the physical. They influence lifestyle and long-term dietary habits. By fostering a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, dietary fiber can help shape eating patterns that are sustainable and health-promoting over the long term. This diet, rooted in whole foods, shifts focus from calorie restriction to nourishment, encouraging an approach to eating that integrates health with enjoyment. Despite the compelling case, many remain unaware of the extent to which fiber can transform health outcomes. As public health officials advocate for increased awareness and improved labeling, the consumer's knowledge grows, albeit slowly. Understandably, the convenience of refined and processed foods continues to eclipse the commitment to fiber-rich meals in many households. Recognizing the importance of fiber in whole grains fundamentally changes how we approach nutrition and health. As more individuals shift towards whole grain consumption, they not only manage weight effectively, but significantly lower their risks of heart-related illness. Still, in the contrast lies a cautionary tale. Refined grains, devoid of these vital fibers, pose a different set of challenges, often leading to rapid blood sugar spikes and increased health risks. This exploration into the consequences of refined grain consumption will further underscore the critical dietary decisions faced in modern society. While whole grains are celebrated for their health benefits, the darker implications of refined grain consumption pose an equally significant narrative. The primary concern with refined grains, which include popular products such as white bread, white rice, and pasta, is their impact on blood sugar levels. Once these grains are stripped of their fiber-rich bran and germ during processing, they are left predominantly with the starchy endosperm, which has a higher glycemic index. Foods with a high glycemic index cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels, a phenomenon that carries potential long-term health consequences. When refined grains are ingested, they break down quickly in the digestive system, converting into glucose that swiftly enters the bloodstream. This surge in blood glucose prompts the pancreas to release insulin, a hormone necessary to transport glucose into cells for energy. However, frequent consumption of high glycemic foods can lead to insulin resistance over time. Insulin resistance is a condition where cells in the body start responding less effectively to insulin, forcing the pancreas to produce more of it to maintain normal blood sugar levels. This condition often precedes the development of type 2 diabetes, a chronic disease characterized by sustained high levels of blood glucose and potential damage to the cardiovascular system. The relationship between refined grains and diabetes is well documented through numerous studies. Research published by institutions such as the Harvard School of Public Health has outlined the correlation between high intake of refined grains and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. These studies emphasize that individuals who consume diets rich in refined carbohydrates are more likely to experience blood sugar irregularities compared to those who consume whole grains. This disparity highlights the importance of choosing whole grains that provide a slower, steadier release of glucose into the bloodstream, enhancing metabolic health. The cardiovascular implications of consuming refined grains extend beyond diabetes. Frequent spikes in blood sugar can also lead to inflammation and an increased risk of developing coronary artery disease. Inflammatory responses triggered by high blood sugar levels contribute to the buildup of plaques in the arteries, a process called atherosclerosis, which can lead to heart attacks or strokes if left unchecked. This makes the choice between refined and whole grains not just a dietary consideration, but a critical decision for safeguarding long-term heart health. Despite these risks, the ubiquitous presence of refined grains in modern diets persists, largely due to their affordability, convenience, and often favorable taste. Processed foods, baked goods, and ready-made meals commonly contain refined grain products due to their longer shelf life and lighter texture, making them attractive options for busy consumers. This prevalence is further supported by industrial food production and marketing strategies that prioritize economic efficiency over nutritional value. As awareness grows about the detrimental health implications of refined grains, it becomes crucial for individuals to make informed dietary choices. Steering towards whole grains can mitigate these risks, offering a protective effect that's vividly supported by science. While refined grains may continue to form a part of our diet, balancing their intake with healthier, whole grain alternatives can contribute significantly to improving public health outcomes. The scientific backing for whole grains extends further, particularly in their ability to lower cholesterol levels, a direct benefit to cardiovascular health. Understanding these connections underscores the necessity for a dietary shift, prioritizing wholesome, natural grains over their processed counterparts for the betterment of overall health. This sets the stage for a deeper examination of how scientific studies have solidified the role of whole grains in enhancing heart health and reducing cholesterol levels. In the ever-expanding saga of dietary science, whole grains have continually emerged as champions of heart health. This isn't due merely to anecdotal admiration or passing trends, but is grounded in robust scientific research that delineates their remarkable impact on cholesterol levels, a critical marker of cardiovascular well-being. Studies over the decades have systematically examined the link between whole grain consumption and heart health, offering compelling evidence of their efficacy. One hallmark study conducted by the Harvard School of Public Health analyzed dietary data from tens of thousands of participants over several years, demonstrating a clear association. Increased whole grain intake was inversely related to the risk of heart disease. The metabolic mechanisms identified through these studies highlight how compounds in whole grains, such as soluble fiber, play a pivotal role in filtering out low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, from the blood. LDL cholesterol is often labeled as the bad cholesterol because it is prone to deposit on artery walls, building up over time to form plaques that narrow and harden these vessels, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This can obstruct blood flow and elevate the risk of heart attacks and strokes. The soluble fiber present in whole grains, particularly in varieties like oats and barley, acts like a sponge in the digestive tract. It binds to cholesterol-containing bile acids and facilitates their excretion, preventing reabsorption into the bloodstream. This process effectively reduces cholesterol levels and, consequently, the risk of cardiovascular events. Further, whole grains are replete with plant sterols and stanols, compounds structurally similar to cholesterol, which can also help block its absorption in the intestines. These compounds form a sort of competitive shield against cholesterol molecules, reducing their absorption and thus lowering LDL cholesterol levels. Such bioactive compounds, along with antioxidants like flavonoids found in whole grains, contribute a protective element against oxidative stress and inflammation, further safeguarding heart health. The real-world implications of these findings are profound. For example, a daily intake of just 3 servings of whole grains has been documented to significantly reduce heart disease risk by nearly 20%. This has led public health authorities worldwide, including the American Heart Association, to advocate fiercely for the inclusion of whole grains in daily meals. Despite this, the cultural and commercial momentum behind refined grains remains formidable. The convenience and widespread availability of refined grain products continue to tempt consumers, overshadowing the more subtle but impactful benefits of their whole counterparts. However, with growing awareness and credible scientific backing, there is an increasing shift towards including whole grain options on supermarket shelves and restaurant menus. Educational campaigns and policy initiatives play a pivotal role in this dietary shift. By teaching consumers about the tangible benefits of whole grains through clear labeling, public health advisories, and school nutrition programs, the movement gains traction. As evidence accumulates and consumer awareness rises, the paradigm shift towards whole grain consumption is slowly but surely framing a healthier future. The foundation of a heart-healthy diet is being rewired meal by meal to prioritize whole grains over refined alternatives. This transition reflects a broader understanding of nutrition's role in disease prevention, an ongoing interplay between science, public policy, and individual choice. In navigating this dietary transformation, choosing whole grains not only aids in cholesterol management, but also fosters other enduring habits that support overall cardiovascular well-being. More than a health trend, the preference for whole grains signifies an investment in long-term wellness, offering lessons that extend beyond the heart to encompass full-spectrum health. Reflecting on the habits that encourage longevity, we explore how choosing nutrient-rich grains forms a cornerstone of sustaining a vibrant and healthy life. As individuals and societies become more health-conscious, embracing whole grains as a dietary staple can foster enduring habits that greatly enhance both cardiovascular well-being and overall health. Transitioning from refined to whole grains is not merely an adjustment in texture or taste. It signifies a profound commitment to nutritional mindfulness, with benefits that resonate beyond immediate health improvements to embody long-term lifestyle choices. Cementing whole grains into daily dietary routines encourages a gradual shift towards a diet that is inherently more nourishing. Unlike the refined grain counterparts, which often appeal due to their softness and supposed ease of use, whole grains offer a complex and diverse palate, enriching meals with depth in flavor and texture. For instance, the nutty flavor of quinoa or the hearty bite of brown rice complements a variety of dishes, not just as side dishes but as integral components of the meal. This integration naturally phases out the dependency on processed foods and contributes to a broader understanding and appreciation of wholesome eating. This shift towards consuming whole grains can lead to significant changes in dietary habits. One of the fundamental ways it influences these habits is by encouraging moderation and balance. Whole grains are more filling than refined grains due to their high fiber content, which naturally reduces overeating by satisfying hunger more effectively and for longer periods. Over time, this can encourage individuals to be more mindful of portion sizes and snacking habits, inadvertently fostering a lifestyle where calorie-dense but nutrient-poor foods have less appeal. Moreover, choosing whole grains is often accompanied by an increased consumption of other nutrient-dense foods. As individuals start focusing on whole grains, there is typically a corresponding increase in their intake of vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. These foods, when combined with whole grains, form a balanced diet that significantly lowers the risk of chronic diseases. This synergy between whole grains and other nutritious foods builds a dietary foundation that reinforces healthful living and reduces the incidence of conditions such as hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease. In addition to physical health benefits, the psychological facet of adopting a healthier diet can't be understated. Making conscious food choices reinforces positive behavior patterns and heightens awareness of food's impact on well-being. This conscious dietary framework cultivates a sense of agency, empowering individuals to take charge of their health proactively, rather than reactively responding to health issues after they have arisen. However, despite the clear benefits, the transition towards whole grain consumption faces challenges. The convenience-driven culture, especially prevalent in urban areas, continues to favor refined grain products due to their availability and often lower cost. The food industry, with its wide array of processed goods, plays a significant role in shaping consumer habits, emphasizing speed and ease over nutrition, often through powerful branding and advertising strategies. These factors present significant barriers to broader adoption of whole grains. To counter these influences, educational efforts and policy changes are vital. Public health campaigns that promote the benefits of whole grains, along with clear labeling standards that help consumers make informed choices, can drive positive change. Encouragingly, some schools have begun incorporating whole grains into their lunch programs, setting a precedent for nutritional education from a young age. As more of these initiatives gain traction, they create an environment where healthy choices become more accessible and culturally normative. Embracing whole grains over refined varieties is more than a dietary switch. It's a commitment to holistic health that lays the groundwork for a vibrant life. Recognizing the broader implications of dietary habits emphasizes the critical nature of these choices. However, even as we celebrate this transition, the prevailing dominance of refined grains in many diets remains a challenge, largely due to the convenience and commercial interests that sustain them. This ongoing dichotomy highlights the next stage of our culinary journey, the extent to which convenience and commercial influences shape modern diets and the measures needed to elevate the status and accessibility of whole grains. In the bustling aisles of supermarkets worldwide, refined grains dominate the landscape, reflecting a conundrum in modern dietary habits. Despite growing evidence and endorsements from health experts advocating for whole grains, the convenience-driven appeal of refined grains continues to steer consumer choices. This relentless pursuit of ease and speed has entrenched refined grains as staples in contemporary diets, a trend largely propelled by industrial food production and commercial influences. The rise of refined grains traces back to technological advancements in milling processes during the 19th century. By removing the bran and germ, millers were able to produce grains that were not only softer and more appealing to the palate, but also had a longer shelf life, making them a staple in the burgeoning food industry. This innovation, while economically advantageous at the time, set the stage for a dietary shift that prioritized quantity and shelf stability over nutritional quality. Today, products made from refined grains line every supermarket shelf, from pastas to pastries and ready-to-eat meals. Their ubiquity is buoyed by aggressive marketing strategies that emphasize convenience and taste, overshadowing their nutritional deficits. Companies invest heavily in branding, often packaging refined grain products with labels that suggest healthfulness, sometimes misleading consumers. Quick meal solutions promise to save time, catering to the fast-paced life of urban dwellers where instant results are valued over careful preparation. The convenience factor cannot be overstated. In households where both parents work long hours, as well as in the lives of busy students or single professionals, the allure of refined grains lies in their ease of preparation and versatility. A simple box of pasta requiring just 10 minutes to cook offers a quick meal solution that fits neatly into a hectic schedule. In economic terms, refined grains also often represent a cheaper option, making them attractive to cost-conscious consumers who must prioritize budget over nutrition. While convenience and cost are legitimate considerations for many families, the long-term health costs associated with a diet high in refined grains are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The challenge lies in reconciling the immediate gratification of refined grains with their hidden health implications. Without intervention, such as government policy changes or educational campaigns targeted at raising nutritional awareness, the cycle is likely to continue unabated. Efforts to shift this dynamic can be seen through the gradual introduction of whole grain options into mainstream product lines. Major food companies have started to offer whole grain alternatives, albeit sometimes at a premium. Schools and community programs are highlighting the benefits of whole grains, incorporating them into meal plans to foster early adoption among younger generations. However, these initiatives face resistance from entrenched preferences and the perceived complexity of preparing whole grains, which are often seen as requiring more cooking skills and time. Economic forces, the balancing act of supply and demand, further complicate the transition. Refined grains are often government subsidized, maintaining their low cost. In contrast, whole grains with less infrastructure and commercial backing frequently depend on niche markets and specialty retailers, so sustaining their image as a luxury rather than an everyday option. The path to making whole grains a central component of modern diets involves overcoming these multifaceted challenges. It requires a concerted effort to recalibrate priorities, from the kitchens of individuals to the broader food systems that govern accessibility. As public and private sectors collaborate to redefine food production and consumption norms, they must also remember the powerful role of consumer behavior and education in driving change. Addressing these entrenched patterns necessitates not only accessible and affordable whole grain options, but also an ongoing dialogue about the broader societal and economic forces that underpin dietary choices. As we probe deeper into these influences, it becomes clear that changing the landscape of food consumption is as much about cultural transformation as it is about health education. This transformation reveals the complexities of nutritional transitions in a world increasingly driven by immediacy and prompted by the demands of modern living.